10 to 5 on Friday's Tea Time show. Got the main bulletin of the evening coming up. At 5 o'clock, we'll bring you the sport and the weather for the weekend as well. First, though, a Norfolk teenager has earned the chance to spend 6 months in the Arctic Circle. 18-year-old Daniel Evans, who lives at Filby near Yarmouth, was one of 1,000 who applied for the sub-zero opportunity with the Royal Geographical Society. The former Flegg High School pupil passed the selection process and will now be heading off to explore Alaska next year and make a film of his experience. And Daniel came into the Tea Time studio a little earlier to explain to me how the chance came about.
I found myself with this opportunity at the end of my school years going into college. I was handed this bit of paper one day and said, the Royal Geographical Society is looking for people who want to go out to do, the kind of an opportunity like this, to go onto a field trip and to have, as you say, I suppose an experience of a lifetime, really, and to have something that maybe not all geographers will have the opportunity to do. So it's a very fine-tuning process.
So you didn't think twice, you applied straight away. What was the next step? Was it very vigorous, the selection process?
Yes, the actual application was vigorous itself, really, because it was asking very thorough questions, and you had to really meet all their targets. And the things that they want to see from a great geographer. So getting through to there was and we were looking at 1,000 people, around about 1,000 people who applied in Great Britain, and they needed to kind of fine tune that to 20 people in a shortlist.
So what swung it for you, do you think?
I think it was a fact that I'd done lots of and still doing lots of different things outside of the classroom. I'm very much I suppose a geographer really is getting out into the open air and doing things. And I do quite a lot of projects. I'm filming at the moment for a DVD to be released out in 2013 to Norfolk schools and colleges. That basically is like a revision DVD. Things that students might miss in the classroom, they might want to kind of check just before the exam the next day. So things like that. Writing for different articles. And I've submitted one to the RGS, actually, the Royal Geographical Society, this year. An article that I want to be published in their journal. So it's these things outside the classroom, and maybe that it swung it for me.
Going the extra mile, to borrow another geographical phrase. So how did you feel when you learnt that you'd been selected then? That must have been quite a moment.
Well, it's amazing, because when I found out that I'd got it the next day, and next day, I wasn't expecting the next day, but I got home, I went onto my email, actually didn't get it at first, went downstairs, made my cup of tea, and came up, checked my email again, and there it was, an email from the RGS saying, "You've got it, well done, congratulations." And obviously I was running around the house for several minutes.
So you'll be out there for 6 months, and that sounds an awful long time. What are you going to be doing there?
Well, this project is centred around what you want to do. It's not as if you're saying, right, this is what you're going to do, you're going to do this, and this is what you need to do before you come back. It's more of a case where you are the kind of leader, you're the manager of the course. So what I've decided is to do something that I haven't done much studying in the field, and that's glaciology. Glaciology doesn't just involve glaciers, but involves things like permafrost. And permafrost is where we have this environment where it is always cold. It's permanently cold. But in some areas of the world, like Alaska, for instance, the actual permafrost is melting due to global warming. And we hear about global warming every day from the cities and things getting warmer, but actually it's having a dramatic impact on places we don't often go to. For instance, Alaska, and just south of the river, or a main river that runs through Alaska, the Yukon River, is a place where up to 60 feet of this ice is falling in the next 50 years. It's predicted. So that's a really interesting part of geography for me, and that's what I want to go on to study.
Conditions are going to be quite rough. I mean, you could have done something in a warm country, couldn't you? You could have gone to the the West Indies or something like that.
Well, I could have done. I'm very much of a physical geographer, and and most geographers and most people out there who've been on holidays will know that there's something for a physical geographer anywhere in the world. But to go on a trip to the Mediterranean, or to go on a trip to the Colorado River, are things that have been done before. It's been studied before. But this hasn't. This permafrost melting hasn't been studied. And the USGS, the United States Geological Society, and have said that this needs to be investigated more. And I think that's possibly what swung it as well. The fact that I was taking a very conventional, contemporary issue and exploring it further.
So when are you heading off there? Sometime next year, is it?
Yeah, August, September next year. We've got to fine-tune it on the 16th of December this year.
And what do you hope this leads on to? I mean, you've obviously want a career in this.
I definitely want a career in physical geography, so I'm applying for university there. And what I want definitely from this opportunity is the fact to get out there and to explore and to make contacts and to kind of get into the world of geography that most classroom students or most A-level students, school students, don't get the opportunity to do. So this is an opportunity not just for me, a benefit to me, but also a benefit for local people and the people in the UK who I hope after I come back to talk to. You know, I've got a trip around the UK to go around schools and colleges and to kind of establish really what I'd found out and kind of give my results and share my results with young geographers.
Well, Daniel, we wish you all the very best. Congratulations on getting chosen and keep us in touch with it. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
18-year-old Daniel Evans from Philby, heading to Alaska next year.